Hey everybody, it's GoblinoX and welcome back to another premiere draft of Final Fantasy, and we can't stop opening banger rares. We're just going to start off with our pack 1, pick 1, Dion, Bahamut's Dominant, one of the best rares in the whole set. Multiple creatures off one body, even if your opponent kills Dion immediately, and if they don't, you flip into Bahamut and win the game very, very quickly. Super strong card. We're going to try to stay glued to white as well as we possibly can here. Pick 2. I'm not a huge fan of this pack just because I've played a lot of Primal Garudas and I'm not the biggest fan of this card. It's a little bit narrow when you are on the defensive. When your opponent has attacked, then it's pretty good. You get to blow something up and then get a little bit of flying damage in. But it's not like it's excellent in that position, and then it's pretty bad when they haven't attacked with something. So I'm not that high on Primal Garuda. I might still take it here because it's not like there's any premium removal or anything really exciting in another color, although I think the best card's probably Dragoon's Wyvern here. 3 mana, 2/1 flyer, plus a 1/1 heading towards blue-white. With Dion, I am incredibly likely to play white, but even if I play white, again, I've had enough awkward experiences with the Garuda, I wouldn't even be that excited to run that, so I'll take the Wyvern here, just take the best off-color card. Pick number 3, Fire Magic is really good in slower, more controlling decks. That's not really where Dion's going to be. Fate of the Suncrist, solid removal in white, and Adelbert is a great early attacker in white, especially if you've got a good amount of job select equipment. We'll go for the Adelbert here. Syncopate would be reasonable as well, going deeper into blue with our Wyvern. Pick 4, White Aura Sight, incredible on-color removal. That works well with our bomb. We can use that mana to help flip Dion earlier. Shiva's also great, but I'm not going to take her over removal, especially removal in Dion's color. Here's another White Aura Sight. Super simple start to this draft. Pick 6. Alright, the pack's weak enough now. I guess I'm taking a Primal Garuda. Pretty glad I didn't take the first one, because I think it'll be highly unlikely I want to play multiples. Yeah, there's really nothing else in the pack worth. I mean, maybe Magic Damper speculatively. Ether with the 7 mana, make 4 1/1s, put a +1/+1 counter on everything. Could be funny, but I'm only one card deep into blue, so I can keep that secondary color open here. Wow. Might be a simple draft pod. Pick 7 Shiva. Slash of Light is not horrendous, but I do have 2.5 removal spells already, and we're not even done with the first pack, so I'll take Shiva here. More Raise a Chocobos. I'm not going to play a Rook turret. Not great for the cost, so speculate on a Raise a Chocobo, although that's really only for green-red where you can consistently flip it, unless you just open a million Chocobos out of green alone. Pick 9, Dreams of Laguna's pretty great. Yeah, some good card draw. Weapons Vendor not bad here, though. I have no equipment yet, but white is the most equipment-heavy color. Yeah, I'll just take Dreams of Laguna here. Pick 10. Bunch of mediocre stuff. Speculate on some fixing just in case. Take some random Chocobos for that Raise a Chocobo. So we open up in pack number 2. Okay. Pack 2, blue rare, Matoya. Draw a card every time we scry or surveil. Matoya's not actually that good. I mean, Sleep Magic is just way more consistently good. 1 mana removal. It's possible, I've never seen it happen yet, but it is possible you can save your creature from Sleep Magic if you damage it with something. But I have never seen that happen. I did have one game where I could have shot my own creature with a Lionheart to save it from Sleep Magic, and I didn't realize that, and I lost the game because of that. So there was one game so far out of like 50 drafts or something that I've had that ever come up. So it's basically just 1 mana removal, which is really good. Yeah, I'll take Sleep Magic here. If Matoya wheels, I might try them out, but they're not particularly consistent. They're a fun build around. You can build around them enough to get them, to where they are worth playing, and they are pretty powerful, but they're not the kind of card you want to pack one, pick one, or pack two, pick one. It's the kind of card you want to get much later. This pack's pretty weak. Retrieve the Esper, Weapons Vendor. I don't think we're a good Choco Mog deck. I could take the Bartz and Boko here. I mean, I did start with a couple Chocobos in green, but our blue's a lot better than our green currently. And if you add a Bartz and Boko to the mix, our blue is still a lot better than our green. Yeah, I'd rather just take a white card. I'll actually take Choco Mog for mana curve purposes. Oof, pick 3 Jill. Man, am I happy I didn't just speculate on green there. Because we just would not be playing green. Now that we have a Jill, it's basically impossible for our green to end up being any better than our blue. This is a very strong rare. Just a 3 mana 2/2 that bounces non-land permanent's already a really good deal. If you ever flip it, you are just getting the icing on the cake there. Ridiculously good card. Pick 4 Magitech Infantry here. It's a little bit late in the draft to try to start getting a bunch of Magitech Infantries, but if I get at least 2, the card is super worth running. Syncopate also pretty good, but I'm going to go for the Infantry here. Pick 5, Fate of the Suncrist, Merchant, Snow, Blitzball, some fine filler, but I'll take the removal spell. Pick 6. I'll just rare draft 20 gems. I'm not going to play any of those cards. Pick 7. As much as I would love to rare draft 20 more gems, I think... I don't know. I'm on 0 equipment right now. Not a monumentally high creature count. You know what? I probably should take Slash of Light, but I'm just going to take gems. Pick 8. Wow, this pack has not worked out great. Yeah, our stuff really dried up pretty quick there. We're going to need pack 3 to give us the goods. It's kind of wild to go from, like, what, pick 3, pick 4 Jill? Something weirdly late for, like, a great blue rare into just, like, no blue the next few picks. Super weird. Pick 12, Syncopate. Okay. Maybe there were just very few blue cards opened here. Alright, pack 3. What goodies do you have in store for us? A black rare, and incredibly filler blue and white commons. That's disappointing. That's very disappointing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 cards that trigger Catch a Fish. That's nowhere near enough. It'll be at like 20. Weapons vendor with no equipment. Or just a Rook turret. I think I'd rather just have the 2/2 draw a card. Man, this was awful pack for us. This wouldn't be a bad deck for the ATM. Maybe I was supposed to take the ATM there. We have double ramp with the Aura Sights towards it. Towards hitting the 6 drop. Pack 3, pick 2. Unfortunate pulls out of pack 3, man. There's just an Adelbert or a Starting Town, and we don't even have any equipment for Adelbert. I still need 6 more non-land playables. It's a little hard to justify the fixing here. Because I need 6 non-land spells to fill out the deck. Take another cat. Alright, we get another Aura Sight at least. There's something. Our first non-dud of pack 3. Our pack 3 pick 3 is way stronger than our pick 1 and pick 2 combined. Pick number 4 here. Dang, there's a Gilgamesh. I mean, there were like no job select equipment in white at the very least, so would have been hard to do. 5-color Joda here. Alright, we'll just keep taking on-color cards rather than speculating because we still need to hit playables. Battle Menu is an excellent pickup. 2 mana, 2/2 on curve, but it's a late game removal spell as well. Pick 6, there we go. Our first equipment, White Mage's Staff, make our weapons vendor and our Adelbert slightly less useless. Slightly more useful, whichever way you want to put it. I'm not running 2 weapons vendors with 1 equipment. By the end of this draft, we'll at maximum have like 3 equipment spells in the whole deck, so I'm just going to rare draft 20 gems here. Next pack is our final chance to get a second copy of Magitech Infantry. And if we miss, we don't get to play any. We missed. No second Magitech Infantry. Clownbound Moogle it is. That Catch a Fish again. The only on-color card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16? I might have to run it. There's 17 now. 18. Okay. It is playable now. I guess I have a bunch of other non-creature cards, though, so I'm probably cutting Catch a Fish before any creatures here. Cut the Catch a Fish. The Merchants. Okay. Average little blue-white deck here. Definitely white was pretty contested. All of our blue cards that are left in the deck are like really high quality, but we didn't actually see a high quantity of blue. We just saw weirdly high quality again, like that Jill, like pick 3, pick 4. Shiva was also really late. Weird draft, but we end up with a reasonable deck here. Oh shoot, I need to put 1 card back in. We'll just put 1 creature back in then. Merchant. And we will call it a deck here. Hop into the gameplay. See how it does. Here we are for game 1 on the draw with a reasonable hand. Adelbert makes the hand even better. The poo-poo UFO. Mono green from our opponents so far, though. Probably tapping this for a town next turn. Still mono green. I cannot imagine a deck running the UFO as mono-colored, because this doesn't ever do anything in combat until they have towns on the board. Bard's Bow. Hello, Dion. That's quite the draw. Here's Dragoon's Wyvern to hold off the 1/1 Death Toucher from coming at us. And the UFO does plop down the green-red duel. Adelbert is a soldier, right? Oh, a knight! Flies in with Dion. Their deck is pretty good against flyers, though. They have a 0/4 in the sky and a 3/3 with reach. Just hold other mana up here. Well, they ain't blue, so I'm slamming Dion down. They are blue. Trino Dark City has arrived. They have 4 or 5 color. Esper Origins is an incredibly powerful spell. Surveil 2, gain 2, flashback, Surveil 2, gain 2, and draw a card. Next turn they've got a 4/4 to hit, and they get double green, and then they get to overrun. I don't think it's quite on Dion's level, but it is very good. Alright, we just hold up a Fate of the Suncrist here to be able to counter green removal spells, because those are spells that are going to make their creature deal damage to ours. So they'll like have their Death Toucher deal 1 to Dion. In response, I just blow up the Death Toucher so that Dion remains on the board. Because if we just untap next turn with 6 mana up and a Dion on board, that's how we're planning to win this game. So we do everything to make sure that that happens. So rather than play the staff and hold up card draw, I'm holding up the removal so that Chocobo Kick can't kill Dion. Okay, there's no instant speed green removal spell as far as I remember. So if they have removal for Dion now, it's going to be black removal, which would be pretty bad for me. And it looks very likely because they chose not to flash back the origins. So I'm definitely going to Dreams here. And I might not try to flip Dion. The issue with trying to flip Dion is I could spend 6 mana to flip Dion. They respond with Sephiroth's intervention. Dion dies and I've spent 6 mana on nothing. So, I think I need to play around instant speed removal on Dion here, because they would not have passed with this 4 mana up without having a relevant instant in their hand, and by far the most likely relevant instant they could have is removal. Weird stuff here. I don't think it's that bad to just blow up the UFO. I guess I will. Why did they not activate Origins? World may never know. Alright, Dion gets killed by sorcery speed removal instead. Yep, Chocomog's great here. Staff pre-combat, gain another life as well. Off this attack. Death Toucher's out of here. Chocomog is basically mini Dion, right? Mini Bahamut. Okay, now they're gonna Origins. It's gonna be at 8 life with 1/4/4 blocker up on the ground. Draw a Xenos. Plus a Wyvern there? Jesus Christ. Okay, that is a bold mana base. The Wyvern, we've seen one blue-black card. I mean, we're gonna get crushed by Xenos regardless. Obviously not playing the cat with the Xenos in their hand. Well, mill 2 lands. Kill 2. Esper kills or 3/2 or 3/3. Could see Staff on Chocomog have been the right play there. Because Chocomog's our only creature with high enough toughness to not die to Xenos. Actually, no, this is fine, because the way Xenos works is they have to choose one of our creatures to not get -2/-2 anyway. So I think it would actually have been better for them if I still had Chocomog, because then they choose that for Xenos' ability, which would make it so when the Chocomog dies, Xenos becomes an 8/8 flyer. Don't think it matters where the staff is now. I think I should just not move it, so I force their hand with the Xenos so I can play more creatures in the future. Technically, staff would be better on our 2/2 to make it a 3/3, but if I did that, then the other creature would die immediately, and then our board would be small enough they wouldn't even have to cast Xenos yet. Bad draw's bad. We need to make sure this 1/1 is not dying in vain at any point. This 1/1 dies, Xenos turns into an 8/8 flyer. Kill the cat instead. I mean, I guess the cat could have kept tapping the 8/8 flying Xenos, but could have had it immediately. Or they could just top deck. 2 interventions in a row. You love to see it. Wow. Alright, well. Incredible draws from our opponent. That is 0-1 heading into game 2. Here we are for game number 2. Solid curve out. Adelbert into Chocomog, into the vendor. Monk's Fist to start things off from our opponent. Ooh, Jill is great against drop select equipment. Cool. Jam for 4. You are welcome to trade Ambrosia off. I don't want to. Weapons vendor, draw a card. We're down to 12. Oversight the cats. Hello there. Got another slash light up. It's not enough to kill anything right now. Opera Love Song for the draw 2. Find a Dragoon's Lance and a Restoration Magic. So if they have another Slash Light, the Lance makes it so they can deal 3. Still died everybody else, though. Restoration Magic. Just tap out there? I just wanted to gain some life, I guess. I don't think I need to Aura Sight here. Let's just go big. Oh, I guess that was the only way they lived. Because they wouldn't have a flying blocker up, so the only way to survive all of the flying damage was just gaining as much life as possible there. Well played. Rescue mission is not going to be enough here. And there's the concession from our opponent. That's a 1-1 heading into game 3. Here we are on the play for game 3. This is a risky keep here without the blue source, especially with a double blue card in the hand. I have one cat trying to hit a 4-mana Aura Sight. I'm going to log in that one. This is awkward, but better. Considering keeping Shiva there, because, well, it was the least likely card for us to cast, because she needs double blue. She has the possibility of drawing us some cards and making up for being down in cards to the mulligan. I got a Veins Treachery here. I'm going to have to counter any removal that they cast on our 2-2 because it's our literal only threat. But I have multiple other ways to deal with them playing their own creatures with these Aura Sights. Okay, now I got another threat. This is moderately embarrassing, but I need to make sure that I have 5 mana next turn. We're going to exile their fishing. Aura Sight the Aura Sight. Aura Sight the Aura Sight. The Aura Sight. We draw that. Sure. This is going to be a stupid game of Magic. I'm really expecting them to play another Aura Sight. Rufus Shinra, sure. No Aura Sighting Aura Sights while we Aura Sight. I can Aura Sight Rufus and play Jill, but like, what's the point? Then Jill's not bouncing something. I think I'm gonna just play Jill. For now. But yeah, I'd have to play Aura Sight first to get the Aura Sight mana and then cast the Jill. I guess Jill could bounce the Catch-A-Fish Aura Sight for later, and we just let them go fishing. Ugh. Goodbye, Jill. Hello, Aura Sight. Just gotta make sure you all definitely know what my favorite removal spell is in this set. See, because I get the Aura Sight and play a Choco-Mog. Rufus Shinra's back. The White Mage's Staff. Not bad. Spooky Night token. They're down to 5. There's Namazu Trader to put them to 4, which is dead in 1 flying swing. Thanks to our staff and our Chocomog trigger. 1 card in their hand. That 1 card has got to be removal. If I block, then I open them up to having a combat trick as a way to kill the Cloudbound Moogle as well. Got an Adelbert if this doesn't go through. Dang. Sadness on the stack. They're top decking blind now. If I equip Adelbert and then attack with them, they double block and I only kill Rufus, which is the same thing that happens if I don't equip. Oh wait, no, I'm dumb. I just killed the 2/2 now. I was like, he's got enough power to kill Rufus already. Yeah, but he doesn't have enough toughness to not die to the 2/2. Oh, well, they can't attack with Rufus if they didn't top deck removal anyway. Oh my god. I don't think I can block here. Of course, they top deck removal anyway. Well, punished hard for the no re-equip. Miss a draw step, please. I hit a Surveil 2, draw 2, and still just hit like 1 cat. Our opponent is just on straight gas here. Two, 4 vigilance is pretty real on this board. Have they answered my prayers? Are they missing? They flooding like us? They're flooding. Let's go. We are back into a stable top deck war. I'm gonna stop playing lands because they could have the 1/1 that makes me discard a card. Oh. Alright, we hit a rough little clump there after the Adelbert punt, or alongside the Adelbert punt. But then they hit the rough clump right at the end. There's not too much to say about that game. That was kind of just who draws the most spells in the end. And it was us by a tiny bit in the very, very end for 2-1 heading to game 4. Alright, this is not a particularly good hand, but the merchant gets to draw and discard dig for the white sources here later. So I'm not going to go down a card. I will keep a slower hand here instead. Fourth island is a pretty big yikes, that's for sure. Our opponent on green, blue, and white. And there's our white source now. Clear out the reach blocker with You're Not Alone. And there's some major ramp going on. Reach the Horizon for 2 towns out of their deck. Green, white, white, blue. I am certainly terrified right now. It's probably better to draw and discard with Merchant. Suncrest, whatever they play next turn. Seven mana. Hold 7 mana up. Okay, now I have a 5 mana Fate of the Suncrest and a Merchant activation in the same turn. I'm on 6 islands and 1 plains right now as well, which is crazy. Not that it's really impacting us currently, it's just wild odds. Okay. It's just all removal in their hand, I guess. Sure. I think I'd rather hold up Fate than equip the Merchant. Flan. Hello, Flan. Hey, Jill. It's pretty good. Not great to bounce a 5/4 with a good ability, though. It's fine to bounce the Sentinel. They're playing off the top now. Well, that's better than Jill. The Shiva theme deck coming in hot. Okay, now no second white is negatively impacting us for sure. Fine to let Shiva die and draw us the card here. I don't really want to bounce my own Shiva, so I don't really want to bounce anything with Jill. Should have just holding on to her. Just vibing for a turn. Oh my god, really? Oh, I thought that was Urza. That's Venser. Venser's not that bad. Oh, but Colosseum Behemoth? Jesus Christ. Oh, they're just gonna play Esper Origins instead. Okay. They could play Colosseum Behemoth and blow up Shiva here, and then I draw nothing. But they're gonna go for the 4/4 instead. Oh, that's an incredible rare. Very, very valuable play here, but also a lot more okay with me than the Behemoth. So we know they have Behemoth coming up. Orside's just going to get blown up by that. That's just all kinds of not great for me. Find a cat. Behemoth on the staff. Now I can Aura Sight the Behemoth. Oh, they just draw a card. That works too. Either way gets rid of their Destroy an Artifact spell. They have drawn so many cards. Oh my god. Just double checking their deck size. Stop playing Scorpion Sentinels. What is going on? I guess I bounced these multiple times. That felt like the fifth Scorpion Sentinel I've seen, but I guess it's just the third. Straight up can't deal with trample right now. Maybe we should just flip Jill for a 4/5 blocker for a turn. The double trigger on the Chocobo, triple trigger. Yikes. No bow equipped, that's something. Goodbye, Jill. Okay. that is this deck in a nutshell. That's all the blocks except for the bow now. So tap whatever they put the bow onto. Block the rest and wait for them to mill out. Hope they don't have more bomb rares in their deck. Go with their Venser and that one thing. The Esper Origins. Why did I open my mouth, man? That's one of the least beatable bomb rares in the whole set. There's 17 here. Only card I have left that's even relevant is Dion. Block, block, block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If they equip one of the 2/2s, I'm literally already dead. Yeah, alright. Fine. Ay, ay, ay. That was just huge card quality from our opponent's deck there. 2-2 heading to game number 5. Here we are on the draw for game number 5. We've got a solid start here. The Wyvern into the Chocomog is a nice little combo. Have more creatures on board to buff up by the time you play Chocomog. There's a Sleep Magic. Nice and efficient for later. Garland. Play a cat. No attacks. Sure, here's Wyvern. And then Chocomog plus Sleep Magic next turn. Probably not the greatest in this matchup. They're Rakdos here. They could have some ways to sacrifice whatever I put the Sleep Magic on for value. Oh, we're putting it on Cypher. Which is awkward because he still gives double strike to the other stuff. But I don't have the mana to Fate of the Suncrest Cipher yet. Yeah, we're just gonna have to outrace the double strike, I think. Take 6 from Garland if they send him in, but they don't have blockers against a really wide Chocomog board. Kill my 1/1 with Gaius. What has been going on with my white mana today? I have more plains than islands in this deck. And here's me not having double white again. So I can't tap and cast battle menu. Or tap and cast Fate. Or cast battle menu and Fate. Yeah, the lack of white is bad here. Dead to them shooting me for 2 if I kill Gaius and attack for 9. But it's also one of the few ways that I know I can lethal them next turn. Yeah, I mean, if I had double white, I would have way safer lines than this, but I don't, so I think this is our best bet. No combat trick, no ping for 2, please. They would need... Again, any combat trick would work, or they need exactly Lightning Bolt, which is only on the bonus sheet. So Lightning Bolt or Choco Comet. There's no, like, commons that do it. They're all just damage to creature only. Call the Mountain Chocobo, Surveil 1, and get another blocker to hold up. They don't have the removal for Wyvern, that's that guaranteed 2-turn lethal that we locked in here. Go to 2. There's the concession, okay. Yeah, felt pretty spooky, but again, without double white, that was our best bet. We could have went for like a safer line trying to kill over a higher number of turns if we could double spell there, or we could tap plus removal, but Arena kind of took that option of the safe line from us, and I guess it was to our benefit, because if I had the choice of doing a safer line, I probably would have, which might have meant not having lethal this turn. Although I probably would still have lethal, since all they managed to do was get just the 1 blocker there. Stressful game, but we are now at a positive win rate right now, 3-2, 50-50 at worst. And we'll see if we can't take it any farther from there. All right, here we are on the play for Game 6 with a really nice hand. We're not starting until turn 3, but that's not so detrimental on the play. Got the Chocomog to go with our Wyvern again. Our opponent's gonna Jund us out. Feels like the 7,000th copy of Esper Origins I've seen in the past couple drafts. I think we played against it like twice with our black-white draft yesterday. And then again, this is like the 2nd or 3rd time out of not very many games today. Sounds really nice. We've hit the multiple white sources that we really want. I think I like Jill best here. I want to have a really, really wide board state pre-Chocomog if I can. I don't really feel the need to removal spell, just the 2/2 right now. Ooh, best draw on the deck. Turn 5 Shiva looks excellent. Sure, Thunder Magic Jill, you got it. I'm pretty happy with any draw on the deck now. If we hit a land, we get to go Auracite and Chocomog in the same turn. If we don't hit a land, we get to Auracite and You're Not Alone. And then we've got another good spell for later. We've got a really nice hand. Alright. They flip the Esper Origins, reveal the top. It is Call the Mountain Chocobo. Sleep Magic and Chocomog here. Feels these. Another good draw. Jumbo Cactuar, that is going to be daubers for our opponent. DOB meaning dead on board, so daubers is just super dead on board. I guess not on board. Shiva doesn't tap on the final ability. But definitely dead to Auracite. Already lethal. Could You're Not Alone as well, but we don't need to, so that is 4-2. We have locked in a positive record out of this draft no matter what. Pretty much at that break-even point. But we'll see if we can't take it any farther. Head into Game 7. Here we are for Game 7. Mono white hand. Needs blue mana pretty badly. Does have a 2-mana 2/2 and a 4-mana removal spell coming up. Eight blue sources in the deck. Turn 2 and a turn 4 play. How many white spells are in the deck? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14? 14 white spells and 8 islands. So 14 plus 6 is 20, plus an additional 2, because 6 plus 2 is 8, so there's 22 good draws in our deck out of like 30 something. I think we keep. The only bad draws are blue spells and plains. If I count plains as well, to where any land's a good draw because of white Auracite, then almost everything in the deck is a good draw. There's not very many blue spells left in there. Alright, our first draw was a white creature, white spell, so good draws to start us off. Second draw, another white spell. Playing against Golgari. I don't think we trade a 2/2 into this Black Mage when they're Golgari. Probably would if they were like Rakdos or Dimir. I'd be worried about all the ping damage. But it would be hard to justify regardless with the snow in our hand wanting as many creatures on board as possible. I like having the exile removal for the creature that can keep coming back from grave. Intervention on snow, no. Tragic. Hey, we gotta slow them down. Let's get the Auracite. This slows them down and speeds us up. Making it easier to double spell next turn. Heck dies, goodbye flashback card. And a Reno and and rude. All blockers all day. This is the most aggressive Golgari deck I've seen. Green-black is usually like self-milling into big late game plays. His opponent has just a million 2-mana creatures. 2 and 3. Chocobo, kick the Adelbert, pick up the land so they can double spell here. Man, I'm in pain. I gotta even trade the Dragoon off. Yeah, they're down to 1 card, but I still have card draw here. Dion, Jesus. That's 2 blockers, 1 spell. Down to 7, and they have another Black Mage now. Well, that counts as a wizard, so it's a 3-1 this turn? God dang it. Like the 1 line I shouldn't have sent in the 1-1. Because if they can +1/+0 the heck dies here. Certainly a yikes. I am low enough on life. I'm really considering fading the Rod or the Wizard. I think I can get them to go for an equip on this token, and then I blow up the token or the Rod. Either way, but soak up some mana on the equip here, and then blow it up. Nope, just insta-fight on. God dang, heck dies, my guy. My heckin' heck dies guy. Honestly, if they have a tapped creature on the board, I'm gonna have taken like close to lethal, so I'm kind of thinking I'm just getting rid of Garuda at this point. Okay, we're gonna have to kill the Menace card instead. I think. I can hit for 5, 6, see, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 next turn. I can't lethal them in 2 swings, even if I poke for 2 right now. So I think I hold up the block for if they find removal for Bahamut. Oh my god. More Circle of Powers. It's so good. Wizard in a draw 2, another Black Mage's Rod. What kind of Golgari deck? Why am I just playing against the Rakdos Black Mage deck, but it's Golgari? God. It's so bad. That's so bad for me. Dead to any one non-creature spell now. Black Mage's Rod on there. Block, block, take 2. Okay, let's play in the way where we win if they top deck a land. If you top deck a land, I win. Right? No, because Dion's going to be on the ground again. I will get another 2/2 blocker. I need them to top deck 2 lands, I guess. I'm dead if they hit a spell, period, so I don't need to play around removal. Equip that. Block there, take 2. Pretty bad. It's pretty bad for me. Oh, I guess I get to destroy it with Bahamut. And since they didn't hit a land, they might hit one next turn. That's slightly more likely now. Goodbye land, we draw. You're not alone. It's 4+4. I'm dead. I'm so dead. To any non-creature spell, even if I blow up a wizard token. Yeah, we kill the Titan. It's a chump. I have exactly lethal in the sky if they top deck a land. I think I have to hold on to Sleep Magic. Because if they just draw a creature, then there's no way for them to attack through anyway. Oh no, I have to actually Sleep Magic. In order to know that I keep the 5 power in the sky next turn. Because otherwise they attack with a 3/1. And then I have to trade off with somebody or cast You're Not Alone. And if either of those happen, I don't have lethal next turn. Gain 3? At least put me out of my misery. I would rather that have been a non-creature spell, honestly, than just the stress machine that is Shinra reinforcements here. Okay. There's another turn cycle now, because they gained 3. We hit a Shiva. doesn't really change an insane amount still. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm 1 damage off from flipping Dion and then killing them. Because it's 7 plus 4. So we play Shiva, poke for 3 and have lethal next turn. I guess I only need 2 blockers up, because if they top deck removal, I'm dead, period, because it's a non-creature spell, so we might as well poke for 5. Oh my god! Oh, creature, land are the last 3 draws from our opponent there, which means we barely, by the skin of our teeth, dodge the black mages. That is what is so terrifying about those tokens. What's so terrifying about that archetype when you're playing against like Rakdos or Dimir. I was not expecting the onslaught of black mages from Golgari here, but looks like any black deck can play a really good black mage deck. That was horrifying stuff, but pretty lucky ending there. We are 4-2 now, positive record no matter what. Oh, we're 5-2. We're in the money no matter what. That feels really good. We are leaving with more gems than we spent to enter now. And here we are now for game number 8. Obviously need to hit some lands here, but we are on the draw to help do that, and we're only a single land away from keeping ourselves well defended. We have a bounce spell off Jill. We have a counter spell off Syncope. We've got a 4 toughness blocker off the Merchant, so very happy with this start. And we're drawing pretty well. We hit 1 land, and we hit a White Mage's Staff, which is a better 2-drop to play than the Cat, as its activated ability is not relevant until incredibly late in the game, usually. You would rather just be spending your mana putting more things on the board. Another Rakdos deck here, this time Jund, green, red, and black. There's our second white source, which is a great draw. Definitely needed that for our Aura Sight coming up. Chill the Garland. I'm okay with trading into the Rats. I don't really want to trade into the Garland that has a really good graveyard ability. Alright, we get the Rat out of here. They get a little boost in mana from their treasure token. But we get a little bit of a boost later with our White Mage's Staff. So, both of us lost a 2-2, but left some later game value. Shinra Reinforcements is the play this turn. Which I really don't care to exile. So let's just play a Merchant. I can play 2 Cats or a Merchant here. I think I'm going to play the Merchant because I can block Reinforcements without losing anybody. I get to start setting up my draw and discard, which I might want to just start discarding Cats. Yeah, I'll discard a Cat to Heck Dies. And then there's Garland, yep. Fate of Suncrist is pretty bad here. Okay, Garland is a good target for Aura Sight, though. So I can Aura Sight Garland and draw and discard a card. Probably ditching a Cat for something better. Gladiolus, alright. Well, I need to keep the Fate, that's for sure. So try to find the land for that Fate of the Suncrist. It is not the land, but it is very good. Goodbye, Cat. Playing the land immediately here. because I can Aura Sight and then still have a Fate for 3 up, or Syncopate for 2. Either of which is pretty good. Syncopate that, exile it, don't worry about it coming back from grave. Great stuff. And would not have been possible without keeping that land and playing it. And then Dion? Jill plus Dion. Wombo combo, oops, I win. That's our hopes, that's our dreams. Could equip Jill and attack, they could double block and kill Jill. I think we're just holding a bait for a tapped creature, which probably isn't going to happen, but I don't think we're equipping here. Maybe I should have just equipped onto like the Knight token for the future, since I'm definitely not like getting a Jill attack in here. Yeah, I probably should have actually put the staff on the Knight token. Okay, fight on. It's really not bad here. Just get more creatures on the ground. Can still go for the Dion kill. Our opponent has played like no removal, which is really lucky. Yeah, they are not a removal heavy deck. Just all threats over there. There's eject. Whee! Plan has been established. Honestly, they're cracking back for 5. We are racing. Plus, racing incentivizes them to have tapped creatures on board to make Garuda playable and make Fate cheaper. Second Gladiolus. Yeah, their deck really is just a bunch of really big threats, not a lot of creatures. Five, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yep. Okay. One of the best rares in the set, Dion being one of the best rares in the set. Again, Jill helped a little bit there as well. Great, great stuff from our super great rares. Simple games of Magic here. That is 6-2. We made it all the way to the final boss again, which I was not expecting earlier. But here we are, 6-2. Final battle, final game of Magic for today. Win or lose. Alright, here we are for the final boss. This is our last game of Magic for today, no matter what. I'm going to keep the opener. We got a 2-drop here. We got 4 mana removal. If I don't draw lands, I can cycle the Moogle. And we have 8 islands in here. We're on a 9-8 split, so should be able to draw the Sleep Magic eventually. The nice thing about our blue spell being a 1-mana removal spell is it's really easy to slot that in on a future turn and make that a super, super fine late game play. Hectize is frustratingly good against a 2-1. Playing against Esper here, blue, black, and white. Some fancy sleeves. The Regalia. There, we're getting bombed out. Hilbert already doesn't block Hectize well. You know what? I think I can rely on top decking the land here. I'm going to take the trade. Get 2 for 1. Yeah, we did not draw the land here. So I have to Plane Cycle, which means I would not have Aura Sight mana. Of course, Arena shows me there was an island on top of my deck. There are now twice as many islands left in my deck as there are planes. But I only have the 1 blue spell, so it's not even that important to draw that. We really just need to draw some bombs to get back in this game. Because we had to kind of 3-for-1 ourselves into the Regalia. It got them a land plus 2 of our creatures. For 3 cards total. I guess there's not much pressure on the board, so we have time to draw our good stuff. Wow. They've got the Syncopate here. If they have it, they should definitely do it, because if they don't, I'm exiling the Salvagers and I have the mana to tap stuff with the cat. If I need to. They're just going to tap the cat. Okay. Wind Crystal does not really do anything with a single Hectize on the board. So Midgar sacked the Hectize draw too. Yeah, as soon as they hit any creatures, that's going to be really bad for me. And now Magic Green is just giving us pure comedy today. Now we have 4 times as many islands left as plains in this deck. Yeah, there are 2 plains and 8 islands left. But again, even more important than the island is just hitting gas here. Oof. That is very good with the Wind Crystal out. Several creatures, great against 1-for-1 removal spells. Make sure that they're getting their flying lifelink swings in. There's the blue, but our hand is awful against tokens. And play it. If they play a Hectize, I'm not discarding it anyway. Probably rather discard Primal Gruda. Which I will probably have to cast just to kill a 1/1 next turn. Remember when I really didn't want to draft this card? We've seen multiple situations where this card is just so mid in today's gameplay as well. So I'm very glad I did not draft the first copy of this very highly at all. We just took the one that wheeled pretty late. Pretty big hater of Primal Garuda. Not in the point that I won't play it, but to the point where I think it's probably like the weakest of the uncommon saga creatures. Iron Giant. Well, we found our removal targets. Go to sleep, little giant. Little giant that's actually very big. I can't block at all. So I would way rather get these creatures to trade off into something on attacks than hold them up for blocks. Y'shtola against blue removal. So they can exile and put the Iron Giant right back on the board anyway. Man. Alright. That's probably got us. Find a double blue spell now. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They gain 24 life next turn. Yeah, they got us. It's the last game of Magic, so I guess I might as well play it out. This was just a disappointingly unlucky final game of Magic here. Really, really bad draws, mana-wise, and then the fact that they had Y'shtola specifically, this mythic against blue removal like our deck has. It's pretty devastating. The overkill over Wind Crystal for the turn. You got it. Okay. That is 6-3 for the final record for this deck. We got some rough games early. We got some losses early, so 6 wins is farther than I expected to take this deck because of the record we had early. But in terms of the quality of this deck, I think 6-3 is probably where it ends up most of the time. I think that's a reasonable record for this deck. There's certainly some really filler creatures and not a ton of great synergy. You know, we have Merchant, Snow, these cats that have been consistently quite mediocre. Garuda wasn't the greatest either. But outside of this clump of mediocre stuff, we have some really good removal with triple Auracite and a Sleep Magic. Some Syncopate also being quite good, interaction removal, whatever you want to call it. And then like some also filler removal to add to that collection with a Fate of the Suncrist and like a Shiva here. And we've got big bombs. We have both Jill and Dion being some of the best rares in the set. These Final Fantasy XVI rares that turn into Saga creatures, so those were pretty excellent. Battle Menu is also a removal spell. Yeah, honestly, like just up the quality of these random creatures to be like slightly better filler creatures, and this is probably like a 7 winner on average. As it stands with this many filler creatures, just because of how contested I think white was in the pod, and then blue just weirdly not having, again, quantity. Blue had insane quality, but low quantity. If we just had higher quality creatures overall, again, I think this would be pretty perfect for a potential 7 winner, because again, all this stuff is quite good. I mean, Weapons Vendor, we don't have that many equipment for it either, but the core of the deck has a lot of powerful stuff. So this stack of mediocre stuff does drag it down a bit. And yeah, looking at it that way, that probably does pull it down to maybe a 5 win probably average, maybe like a 5-3 on average. So I think this run, all in all, when you look at it that way, probably a little above average for what this deck does. 6-3, or maybe I'm slightly undervaluing it, slightly overestimating the impact of that mediocre stuff. Maybe it actually did land exactly where it hits on average. Maybe it is 6-3 on average. But I do think that it's definitely some mediocre cards away from being a 7 winner on average. So there is that. All right. Great run either way. Really great record these past couple days, and very much in the money out of this draft. So we absolutely take those. But that is going to end today's video. As always, I'd like to thank my patrons and YouTube members for their support, as well as you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it and are interested in seeing some more, you can always like, comment, and subscribe. Tell the YouTube algorithm to send you some more in your recommended feed. If you'd like to catch me live, and check out the Twitch channel in the link in the description below. If you'd like to support the channel directly, you can check out the Patreon link in the description below. But other than that, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for some more Magic Arena.